Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review My Mom Jayne, a film by Mariska Hargitay. And this film is a new documentary directed by Hargitay herself, and I've been a fan of hers since, my mom just watching Law and Order every single week, all of the Law and Orders. So obviously Mariska Hargitay has been on Law and Order SVU for like decades at this point. And this film was very interesting because it's like she came from a very famous mother, Jayne Mansfield, who I actually more recently have started to watch some of her films, and she was this like blonde bombshell with that like kind of attitude and vibe and just charming up with the audience and stuff like that. But this film is very fascinating because it comes from a daughter who was only 3 years old or so when her mom died. And all she knows is her mother's legacy and her reputation. And there's a lot of emotional baggage that went into the making of this film. And you can feel that as Hargitay sits down with her siblings and others in her life that knew her mother better and had experiences with her and her many husbands, some of which were extremely abusive relationships. And there's some very harrowing moments throughout this documentary. And is this, like, generally, do you want a documentary that's so close to home? Probably not, because you worry about being subjective. But at the end of the day, this film really isn't a biography of Jayne Mansfield. It's this woman, Mariska Hargitay, who's processing the legacy of her mother and really trying to get a better understanding of who she was and trying to find some growth and closure with her non-existent relationship with her mother. And there's plenty of moments where Mariska sits down with her siblings and they break down. They remember some horrible things and these tensions. And there's very emotional moments throughout this film. And honestly, this gives a very interesting perspective on Jayne Mansfield and makes her look so much more layered and complex than this public persona that she just put out there. Much more talented, much more intelligent. And this film delivers quite the bombshell that Hargitay herself has been sitting on for years, and a revelation about her family. And it was compelling, it was thought-provoking, seeing somebody trying to process such a shocking twist of fate. Honestly, this film has so much emotion, it's so intimate, it is such a personal experience that it comes off being so human, but then also has these twists and turns of a narrative that are shocking. And like, this film will hook you in that way too. This film works in layers. You understand Mansfield better. You get this very intimate exploration of a woman processing her non-existent relationship with her mother, and then uncovering some truths that really completely change perspective. This film is able to balance all those things and deliver such a poignant, emotional, and very human experience, where this is quite a special documentary that really made me like take a step back and really realize, like, I did not expect this to be this deep and profound and impactful and challenging. And it was all of those things in a very surprising way, and makes this documentary a must-see one sitting there on Max. But those are my thoughts on My Mom Jayne. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.